It's time for another round of Bargain or Bust. Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryland. I'm a worship and media arts pastor who's always on the hunt for budget-friendly solutions for my tech ministry needs here at Central. I've got 5 items on the Bargain or Bust list, things I've paid for and picked up on Amazon to try out, and I'm going to let you know if it's worth maybe you checking out as well. So item number 1 is the OPPSK Stage Wash Light Bar. And we have, I think now, 10 of these. And for the money, $125 for this light. It has been a great find. So these are very bright. They're versatile as well. So we're using these to wash our walls. So a scenic style wash light. But you can see on here that it's also got this very like milky diffuser thing that slides over the light, and then you could put these vertically or however you want and facing the audience to kind of do some eye candy effects. Every 3 pixels or LED diodes can be mapped. We don't have it set up that way, but you can do that for some different effects if you want to kind of go with that like light bar kind of look. And these can be placed like directly in line with each other. You can't connect them, but the end of the light is very like, if you put it next to the other one, it's going to look like one long light. So for $125, I think these are more than a bargain. These are a steal. The next item that I've purchased off Amazon to explore whether it's a bargain or it's a bust are these lenses from Meike. Over the years, I've picked up, I think, 4 different lenses from them, but when I got the S5 II, like we're shooting on now, lenses for full frame is a little more expensive, but these Meike lenses have autofocus, and I wanted to see if they perform well. So we got the 85mm 1.8 and the 35mm 2.0. Right now you're looking at a Panasonic 50mm 1.8. Let's just pop these on so you can kind of see the difference. Here's the 35mm f2, so it's going to be a tiny bit darker than what you just saw, but this lens is $200. And here's the 85mm 1.8 from Meike, however you say it. So this lens is going to run you $219 versus the Panasonic version, which is going to be about $450. The main reason I looked at these lenses was because I had an old EF 85mm that here in this office I was getting a lot of focusing noise because it's just an old STM lens. But I didn't want to spring for the full Panasonic lens. I thought I'd try these out, and focus is silent, stays locked on really well, focuses well. We've been utilizing these on Sunday mornings in our live stream, so at the end of the day, it's a bargain. Speaking of lenses, the next item we're going to talk about are the Tiffin Black Pro Mist filters that you can put on your lenses. So yeah, I got caught up in the fad of the Pro Mist thing, of slapping these on the front of your lenses to try and get some of that highlight blooming halation effect and do it all in camera. These are going to run you anywhere from $40 to $80 depending on the size of the filter, based on the filter thread of your lens. So I think my final verdict on these Pro Mist filters is that, to me, they're too expensive for what they are. You can achieve these same effects in post, and I didn't really love it for doing things live. I felt like it added too much false effect, even with, I think these are like the 1/8 Pro Mist. For the money, I kind of think they're a bust, honestly, guys. I think they're a fad, and I wouldn't buy these again. Maybe a really specialized use case for certain videos if you really want that, but in those cases you can achieve the same effect in post, and you can always make things noisier or grainier or blurrier, but you can't add clarity in post. You can't add sharpness in post that looks correct. So I kind of think these are more of a gimmick than they are worth it. I wouldn't buy them again. For me, it's a bust. Next up, let's talk about this little encoder slash decoder device from ZowieTek. So this is one that I did not purchase myself. I actually reached out to ZowieTek and it was like, would you be willing to send me one of these to test? Because I think my audience would be really interested in these because I'm interested in it. Why? Because it packs a lot in here. I've had this device now for like 6 months and I've failed to make a full review on it. So this is my review, okay, guys? This device I have is an SDI/NDI decoder. They also have a version that is HDMI and NDI or HDMI only. And those prices vary. Like this is $240. The HDMI NDI is $179 and HDMI only is $159. But why is this so interesting? Well, this is like a little encoder device that first of all you could live stream to up to 4 destinations simultaneously, 2 RTMP, 2 SRT. So no longer are you having to use Restream, which you can do some of that with OBS and different things, but I like the hardware devices that do this. You can do it up to 50 megabits per second, so that's a really high bit rate that you can even stream at. It's great, and if that's all this device was, I think it'd be really interesting. But it also can decode and convert those signals into like an SDI output on this device. For instance, if you have an NDI camera feed on the network, this can pull those NDI feeds and convert it into an SDI output for your ATEM switchers. So that's what I've used this device as. You could also pull an RTMP feed into this and then output over SDI into a switcher. So it's a really easy way to get things to actual outputs like SDI for your ATEMs. If you have a USB webcam, this can also convert UVC into SDI. So if you have like an Osmo Pocket 3 and you're going webcam output, you could go into this device with it and then onto a switcher. So I do think this device is a bargain. It could take the place of a Web Presenter HD and has some extra benefits maybe even. Now we still use and love our Web Presenter HD, don't get me wrong. But this has USB-C, I think that's power delivery. Then you have a LAN port for NDI up to HX3, a DC output port where if you wanted to power something on your camera, you could if you wanted to rig this onto a camera. An SDI in if you want to create a NDI feed, then you can put a camera into this to send it on the network. And then it will also output over the SDI as well. USB for that webcam. Then it's got a micro SD TF card slot that you can actually record to. It has a 3.5 audio input and a headphone output so you can monitor what's going on. A little quarter 20 on the bottom and a fan. And then it also has a tally light if you're utilizing this that way that you can enable in the web-based UI. So yeah, I think if you're interested in saving some money and being able to multi-stream or do some stuff with NDI, this little ZowieTek device, either HDMI or SDI, would be something good to check out. And last on the list for bargain or bust today is going to be this mic that you've been listening to throughout this video, the Comica VM40. A couple of weeks ago, I purchased this mic for $250 on Amazon. That may sound expensive, but let me tell you what all you get for that. This shotgun mic can record natively 32-bit float audio onto the mic. So right now, I'm actually recording onto the mic to have a backup of the audio because it's also simultaneously broadcasting the signal connected to a receiver wirelessly that's sitting on top of my S5 II. And that's just going out via the output 3.5 port into the mic in of the camera. So now the camera audio is receiving this signal wirelessly. So this is great for booming things or just anything where you don't want to have to run cables between. But the benefit for me is the fact that it's 32-bit float, a safe channel recording. And the package comes with a nice little carrying case, a dead cat, some adapters, some mic attachments. And I think it's really a high value for the $250. And so I would call it a bargain for the feature set that you're going to get. Other microphones like, some Sennheiser MKE600s, whatever, those are going to run you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And for, I think, the most normal church settings that you're going to utilize a shotgun mic like this for, it's a really great value. Like we're going to use this week in and week out on our video announcements that we record. And instead of me having to run cabling between microphones to the camera, now we can just do this wirelessly. But I don't always trust wireless. So having the native backup recording on a shotgun mic is really unique and a great feature for us. So there you go, guys. Let me know if you have any questions about these 5 items, or do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments, and I will leave links to all of these in the description of this video. Those will be affiliate links. Thanks for using those. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps support the channel. And if you made it to the end of this video, you're probably someone who would call themselves a church creative. You're involved in the worship and media arts at your church, whether a volunteer or on staff. And I'd love to have you be a part of what we're calling the creative crew here on the channel. It's my YouTube membership, $4.99 a month, gets you access to exclusive live streams here on the channel, a Discord private server, and just priority reply to your comments in the YouTube videos. So check that out if you're interested. And remember, at the end of the day, we can do a lot of great things. Let's do it all for God's glory.